All right, going on a walk. Can't really see my screen. I have a selfie stick. So, what's going on in Flatland, the Earth? Corey Murray, what's up, bro? Sea level, good to see you. So, it's Thursday, right? Yeah. I got a story to tell you guys. Now, it's a interesting story, I guess, but it's not that important. Hey, Deborium. Let's see. Love that new video you made today. Oh, you do? Good. Glad you saw it. Cool. There's a four-wheeler coming. Okay. So, I forgot what I was gonna say. I had a story to tell you, and it's okay. I'll just tell you. There's an abomination that is spoken of in the Bible. Anybody know what I'm talking about? The abomination that makes desolate and takes the daily sacrifice away, which I don't know what exactly all that stuff is, but I do know. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, sea level. What if I knew what that was? And I'm only going off of in Daniel 8. It's kind of weird, but Daniel hears two saints, which would be, if you think about it, it's kind of weird to think about because that would be someone in the end times. He hears them saying something to each other, and I'm sure many of us have talked about it even. The daily sacrifice, it's, I'm trying to remember the exact words, how it went. How long will the daily sacrifice be, what was it, trodden underfoot? Something like that. And the one saint says to the other saint, it'll be 2,300 days and then the sanctuary would be cleansed. Now, I'm not trying to say that anybody would know any day that something was going to happen, but just an interesting thing to note is that's the point that I'm trying to make. I'm not trying to, like, that thing, call out a date or something, but so in my understanding, the abomination is something that stands, or it's up in God's temple. Oh, I just missed a comment there. Oh, cool. Hey, Gage Kane. I missed a bunch of them. Yeah, I agree, Anthony. It is nearly finished. Okay, so that abomination, like I don't know what it means or anything, but what if it was, okay, it's so complicated what I'm trying to say. Babylon, it's going to become desolate. Like, nobody will live there. And so I'm like, oh, good. What that's maybe come to mean to me, and I don't know exactly, but that there's going to be something up in the sky that is making Babylon, because I believe Babylon is up there, dominance over the skies and space, etc. Yeah, that's the whole. Actually, I'm going to bring this up quick. In Zechariah 5, an angel, it gives Zechariah a vision, and he sees something. He says, "What is that you see?" And he says, "Oh, I see a flying roll or scroll." And he says the length is 30 cubits and the width 20 or something like that. And then the angel says, "This is the curse that goes over the whole earth, or the face of the whole earth, and everyone will be cut off. Well, everyone will be put on one side of it, basically. And it's the Lord that's going to bring it in." And I think I think he saw a rocket. Exactly, sea level. You're right on. And that's why there's no Freemasons hiding the shape of the earth. There's no Jesuits or there's no people hiding the shape of the earth. No people. And that's something that a lot of people would argue with. Well, they have to know. And NASA knows. No, they don't. And that's okay. So back to the abomination thing. So in the end, like in Revelation 12, in the end there's Satan's, the dragon, is cast out into the earth, and like there's a, oh, look at those sun rays back there. I don't know if you can see those. They get me out of the way. I guess not. Maybe not. Tried to focus it, but you know what? Let me touch on that. It's not a place to explore. It's the bottomless pit. It's hell. It's that verse, where they're reserved, or where it's reserved for them. But back to the abomination. Reusable rockets. With the Dragon capsule, what do we got here? All the land shall be turned as a plain. I love that verse. So, oh, there's my neighbor. So reusable rockets. When I see the Falcon 9 launch, and you look on the side of it, and it has, the logo has 2 horns. Anyway, bad video. Sorry, Tony. Can't see me. I guess my cell phone service isn't that great. Maybe try to refresh. It might not be blurry. I don't know though. I see exactly what John described in Revelation 13 verse 11, when he says, "I saw a beast coming up out of the earth, and it had 2 horns like a lamb, and it spake as a dragon." I think I just missed some comments. Whoops. Okay, good. Thank you. Sound is fine? Good, good. So, in my mind, I'm seeing this rocket launching, speaking as a dragon, and because it's a dragon, I guess. And in the beast, the first beast in Revelation 13 verses 1 and 2, that one gets its power and seat and great authority from the dragon. So if we just apply that a little bit to a possible scenario in reality, like SpaceX Dragon resupplies, it's contracted that, by NASA to resupply the space station. Let's see. Yeah, that's a good page 1. But so, the way I'm seeing it in Revelation 12, when it says, when John, September 23rd, 2017, a lot of us believe that we saw in the heavens the same thing that John wrote down that he saw of the woman with the sun and all that. Well, the next two verses, John sees another wonder in heaven, and it's a great red dragon. They have their Dragon 1, which is just a supply vehicle, just for cargo and not for astronaut. Crew Dragon, which they made for a, they designed it for a Mars mission called Red Dragon. So hopefully the wind ain't too bad. Think about this. He says, John said he saw the dragon's tail cast a third of the stars down to the ground or whatever. So SpaceX, and then the booster comes back down, the bottom half of the rocket, the part with all the engines or whatever, the rocket engines. It's just like a lift device. It just lifts Dragon, and then the second stage brings, oh, I was going to touch on what, but it is hell. That's the best way I can say it, because there's fallen angels there, and they're bound there, and like the 7 planets, those are fallen angels, or they're transgressing stars. So I'm gonna put up a video from a 1996 shuttle mission, and you can see what these stars look like. I think it's on an infrared camera, but like they've caught them on film, and they don't really say much about them. They think it's just like things floating there or whatever. But if you study the footage, they've caught something up there, and it looks kind of like stars look, but like with a, sounds weird, but like with a slit in it. But they kind of pulsate. Let's see. Okay, so the abomination, what I'm saying is, what if that, the reason why it makes desolate or whatever, is I wonder if that's making Babylon desolate. Like, Tony, there is an ISS. I just saw the no ISS thing. There is an ISS. Where it is what would be debated, I would say, because you can point your camera up just about any day and film it. So whatever it is, it's a wandering star, or I couldn't see what that said, I guess. But so what if that Falcon 9 is making Babylon desolate, like of the fallen angels? And I know that we're fighting a war, a battle right now. I mean, in heaven, like with I know that Michael and his angels are fighting with Satan and his angels right now. And that's, you can see that battle when you tell someone that you believe Earth is flat. You can see that battle. Yeah, so as they are in the ISS and they're orbiting, right? They're never orbiting anything. They're actually just flying over what they perceive to be as a curve. And they see it, and it looks like a globe to them. But the celestial realm isn't necessarily, it isn't necessarily the same type of physics or anything like that. There is no physics. There's no air, there's no water, there's no nothing. And that's because it's strong delusion. It's just, it's only there, it's only real for people who want to believe it. Because here's what's going on, you guys. Here's what's going on. The ISS is the beast that deceives everyone into worshiping false image. It's the beast that comes up from the bottomless pit. Just like I'm saying that that space is the bottomless pit, and the beast comes up from the bottomless pit. And in Revelation 11, it kills. Joe will host a discussion, want to talk? Yeah, that's a good idea. Sometime we should do that soon. Read your Bible, Troy says. Good idea, Troy. I'm just walking around in my backyard now. So I guess what I'm trying to say, is that this whole, that's another thing. I'm gonna sit down in a chair. That's another thing. All right. Nice. Okay, Pastor Dean, I heard him the other day saying, and you got to laugh at this, because he's a good guy. He's just got he's real confident. But what did he say? He said that he believes that God is, that there's a revival happening right now, because of flat Earth. And I wish Pastor Dean could apply his Bible to reality in more of just a simple way, because the revival is the revelation of Jesus Christ. It's not like God didn't write about sending a revival where he'd send some truth and he'd make people bear witness to the truth, and then oh well, that's just a truth though, don't worry about it, it's nothing having to do with salvation. To me that's frustrating, because in the book of Revelation it's all about salvation. Because the whole world has fallen away. Like right now, the world, ever since we decided to go to the moon, the world has been having Apollo. That's the god of this world. That's the king of this world. 50 years or whatever. 50 years. So think about, what are we doing as people? We're trying to go up there, as people that were created for down here. Can I get a witness? I heard what's her name, Anne McClain or something, one of the astronauts that just got back down. She was up there for 240 days or something. Yeah, oh, that's another thing. Okay, I keep getting sidetracked, but I'm good at that. I have my mind wanders. So, the abomination, if it's making Babylon desolate, I know what it is, and I know the day that it started doing it. So what I'm saying is, in Daniel, it says, and I'm just generalizing this right now in my head, but it says something about, it's in Daniel 12, it says something about, it's like the third or the second from the last verse, and it says something about 1290 days. I can't remember exactly what it is, but the very first successful booster landing, and it's not just me making like an assumption at all, because Revelation 13 verse 13 also describes exactly what I'm talking about with these landing boosters. He does great wonders and makes fire come down from heaven on earth in the sight of men, right? So the rocket takes off, in Revelation 13 verse 11 and gives its power to the beast or whatever, and then it's cast out into the earth. Dragon is cast out into the earth, and forgot where I was going with that. It's just the exact. Oh, and then the booster comes back down and makes fire come. We've all seen the videos of this, or oh yeah, I just saw something about on the one side of the river and the other side of the river. I'm still trying to figure all that out. But you know, in the beginning of the vision, in Daniel 7, I think, yeah, 7, the four winds strove upon the great sea, and then four great beasts came up out of the sea. The four winds, you guys, that's what holds up the heavens. And so they're messing with that. But so December 21st, 2015 was the first booster landing that SpaceX was successful on. So what I'm saying is, if that was the abomination, and if there was 2,300 days until the sanctuary was cleansed, that would be saying that 2,300 days from that December 21st, 2015, that would be the day that Jesus comes with 10,000s of his saints to execute judgment. So, and it would be, I think, it would be 1,290 days from that December 21st, 2015, where there would be what people call a rapture, and that's in Revelation 11:2, where God says to his two witnesses, "Come up hither." And remember the two witnesses who killed them? The beast that came up out of the bottomless pit. So what I'm talking about is the space station. And like Deborium, as much as I think you're awesome, you are believing in the beast right now. And not to say that it's not something that's up in the sky. I'm not saying that it's not up in the sky like a lot of people are. I'm saying, because I know it's up in the sky, I've filmed it. You can watch it almost every day. You can watch it. But I've filmed it and I know what it's doing. It's flying circles over the earth. So that's how it sees so many sunrises and sunsets a day. Because every time it comes back around, it's finding the sun again. If you take, the space station, the ISS, the path of the ISS, it never goes anywhere near the polar regions. It always stays on an east-west path. So, I mean, it's going north and south, but what I'm saying is it's not ever going over the poles. That's a big problem, because if we have a space station, why does it have limits to where it can go? Because if the Earth has gravity in the center, they should be able to go anywhere they want. But they can't fly over the poles. I think I know why they can't fly over the poles. I think we've been figuring that one out for a few years now. We don't know why, but what I'm saying is nobody's flying over the poles. Nobody. My younger brother's a pilot in the Navy, or he was, and I think he still is, but he told me he flew over the North Pole once. So I said, what happened to your heading? You're heading north? Were you suddenly heading south or what? No, it's not like that. Yeah, it's not like that because you didn't get to the North Pole. That's what I say. But so I'm gonna end this video, I think, and what I'm saying is, I think that we're talking like if that was the abomination, and I don't, like, I'm not trying to say that I understand it, but if that was, it's something like next week or something that would be a day of, an interesting day anyway. But like, I gotta be careful too, because people obviously like to attack, and so they want to say, Joe's saying this or something that Joe ain't saying. What I'm saying is, if you pay attention to what is said in those visions, and you aren't listening to you're not making up things like oh, that's because he moved really fast that they said it, that he said it was flying because it was so fast. Stuff like that, that's just dumb. That's just dumb. Don't add things. My bro's back. Don't add things or take away things, because there's two reasons why. One is because it says right like in Revelation at the end, it says not to do that. But you also won't understand. You won't understand what those prophets were what they were seeing, because although everyone likes to think of the Pope and all these weird things that aren't at all what these guys saw, these guys gave us their testimony that they saw, like Daniel 8, he saw a he-goat. He saw a he-goat. That's an animal. And it had a horn between its eye, a notable horn between its eyes. Stuff like that. How could you get a government from that? That makes absolutely no sense for you to say, oh, the Pope has a horn or something. Like, what the heck? I don't get it. Makes no sense. To me, he sees a he-goat and he sees a ram, and he calls them beasts. That's probably because he thinks they're alive. And if you look at the Hebrew word beast, it says living, something living. So he thought it was alive. And it looked like a he-goat to him. Or John saw a wonder in heaven of a dragon. So, yeah, I'm just trying to keep people in reality. Words have meanings already. We don't need to make anything up. Yeah, water doesn't hold itself upside down. So, anyway, I kind of botched it on all the chat, I'm sure. I missed a lot of it, I think. But my next video that I'm doing live, I'm going to sit on here and we're going to do any kind of experiment that we could do to come up with the idea that the earth is spinning. Because look how still I can stand. Here, watch out. Okay, there. Why do people think it's moving? This would be moving. If the ground is moving or something, it would be going like that, moving. But when it's like this, and I stand there and I just stand there still, clouds are moving. Clouds are moving, but the trees, they've been there like 50 years. They've never moved. Yeah. All right, guys. Cool clouds out here today. Hope you guys are having a good one. Frank, you know it's about 250 miles away, not 1,000. Oh, the ISS? Yes. And we can verify that too. Because I'm in Minnesota, and if it flies over directly over Minneapolis, my friends down in Missouri can look north and they can see it kind of right above the horizon. That's like 800 miles or something. I don't know how far it is, 800 miles. So doing just the simple math there, it's about 250 miles up. But here's the thing. I was just seeing some sun rays that were making the sun look not even 250 miles up. So it's celestial. So it's not the same thing as the Earth. And that's why they can fly circles and they don't have any kind of whatever outward acceleration, because there's no physics up there. There is no air, there's no water, there's no particles of any kind. It's once you get up past a certain point, there's nothing. Oh man, that's cool. Probably can't even hardly see it. I don't even know where. Can you see that? Where is it? Man, oh yeah, you can kind of see it right in the center of the screen right there. That's cool. See how they're shining like sideways? That's awesome. I should get my camera out here. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Hey, Fishing for Truth, how you doing? Good to see you. You guys all have a good one, and yeah. Hey, if anybody is interested in giving their testimony, I want to do that on my channel, like in a live stream or pre-recorded or whatever. However someone would be comfortable doing it. I think we need to do that more. So, alrighty, you guys have a good one.